Welcome to Well Healed. This is your world of wellness and healing. I'm Linda Mullins, I'm your hostess, and I'm here with Dr. G of Willowbend Health and Wellness. Dr. G, thanks for joining us.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I'm happy to be here.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm happy that you're here. I want to talk a little bit about you, okay? Most people's favorite subject, right? So,
It can be.
It can be. But for you, I'm intrigued by your background. So tell me a little bit about your backstory and your journey into this wellness field.
Okay, well, I will share with you that most practitioners like myself who are doing this, especially conventionally trained practitioners, do have their own story. I certainly experienced some health challenges of my own that I struggled with and just felt like there had to be a better way. I don't know, something in my gut told me. My background is actually nutrition. I have a nutrition degree, undergraduate degree, and so I started seeking other answers. And fortunately, I had connected with a pharmacist who's very integratively focused, and she shared with me some information about something that I might try. And so I tell people all the time that I think she saved my life because I was starting to feel so poorly. And once I got introduced to some of these methods, I actually responded fairly quickly.
Your body did?
My body did. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that, it lasted as long as it did. And then as I went through that surgical menopause, which is kind of what triggered things for my body, I think, it finally said, I'm done. I can't help you anymore. You have to do something different.
Oh my gosh.
And so that's what really was the awakening for me, that I needed to do something else, because what I realized in retrospect now is that the things that I was doing conventionally were actually making my health worse.
Wow.
Really.
Wow. Wait a second. Let's get this straight. You've been a physician for how long? How long had you been a physician before you had this integrative awakening?
Like 25 years at least.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I had practiced conventional medicine and done very well and been very successful, but I always knew there was important things to talk about as far as preventive. And so I'd always done a preventive piece to my practice. And so I think my patients appreciated it, but more importantly, it gave me an opportunity to really delve into some of the things that people don't normally share with their doctor. Because when you start asking some non-traditional questions about, like, how are you sleeping? And, what does your food look like? Where are you sourcing it? What are you eating? Then they talk about it.
Then you have more of a dialogue.
Exactly.
Right? Than just your 2 minutes we get when we go in the doctor.
Exactly.
So, integrative functional medicine, there's a whole lot of acronyms out there in the world.
Yes, there are.
I have a lot of doctors that are naturopaths, functional
Yes.
medicine docs, holistic doc, DO, MD.
Absolutely.
What's an integrative functional medicine doctor? And that's what you're talking about, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So what I'm talking about is, honestly, anyone, any of those practitioners could be a functional integrative medicine practitioner. There is certainly specialized training that you can do to learn how to provide that kind of care, which is what I did. I actually went back to school, something I said I would never do.
Oh, man.
And I learned about the things that we don't learn about in medical school, about getting to the root cause. So when people become unwell, there's a reason, and it's not just about identifying, oh, well, you have this diagnosis, and so I need to give you this pill, or I need to do this surgery. It's about what caused that to happen to begin with,
Right.
and trying to help people identify that even for themselves, because sometimes it's not just about lab work, it's about their lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
And then getting to that and helping them, provide them the education and the tools to address it. Sometimes it requires medication, so it doesn't rule out the need for medication in some situations, But very often you can get by with just altering people's diet and encouraging them how they need to plan for better sleep, more sleep, how to address the digestive issues that they've been ignoring for 20 years.
Wow.
All of those factors play into overall health and wellness, and that's what I learned in my functional and integrative medicine training, is how to identify what the triggers can be, and once you identify them, how to address them.
Yeah, then how to address
How to
them.
provide
That's right.
solutions.
Yeah.
And then giving clients the opportunity to then incorporate that into their life and taking control of their own health. So really what I do is I help people get to the root cause of, or reveal the root cause of their health challenges so that they can restore their health and wellness and reclaim their life. And
Amen. I'm all for that.
absolutely.
I say that too, and we do an integrative approach, right, at the retreats. But let me ask you a question, because I hear about root cause a lot, right? And are there multiple root causes? Because isn't it
Absolutely.
do you consider yourself a lifestyle medicine doc?
Absolutely.
Okay.
That's what I practice, is lifestyle medicine.
Okay, good.
So 80% of people's health challenges are related to their lifestyle.
80%.
80%. It can be as much as 90% for some people, or as little as 70%, but it's somewhere between 70 and 90%.
And that 80%, isn't that the same number of preventable disease percentage? Is that the number?
And it's not a coincidence.
No, I didn't think so. All right, note to everyone out there.
Exactly.
It is preventable, and it's about our lifestyle and our choices,
Yes.
right?
Absolutely.
It's interesting. So I've started today on the standard process cleanse,
Yes.
right? I did it once before about 10 years ago. It worked incredibly well for me. And I'm excited to be on that program again, because everybody out there, note to everyone, it is a choice, right?
It is.
It's not a knowing problem. We used to say this in corporate. It's not a knowing problem that I didn't know what to do if
Right.
I've been hanging on to this 25, 30 pounds for a while. It's been a doing problem. So I've made the choice to take back the control,
Absolutely.
which I absolutely have of this. I mean, I fast for 3 days at a clip. I do intermittent fasting.
Yes.
I have the ability
There are benefits to all of that.
to choose. So I'm choosing to make a change. I'm ready.
That's great. And I'll share with you, honestly, we hadn't talked about this, but that's what changed my life, is the 21-day detox.
Oh, it is.
That was the first step I took. So that was what the pharmacist encouraged me to do. And after doing the first one, I thought, oh my God, I haven't felt this good in, I can't remember when. When can I do another one?
Yeah.
That was my
Yeah.
reaction.
Oh, that's awesome.
Not most people's reaction, but that's how significant a change you can see in a very short period of time, depending on what is contributing to the problem. So for me, toxicity was a big issue.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
As it is for a lot of us in midlife.
It's so funny because I don't think I'm toxic, right?
I know.
And I went to it was a level up or uplift or whatever it's called in LA with my friend, and they did a bio screening on me or whatever. And I'm like, I don't have inflammation. I work out all the time. I go to infrared saunas, whatever. And they're like, your inflammation's kind of high. I'm like, damn, I didn't know.
Exactly.
So anyhow, but I'm so grateful to have met you and to have found you. So tell me about what your passion is and what drives that, what you're doing now.
Yeah, so I tell people honestly, I'm an extroverted introvert, which most of my patients have no idea, because I'm very bubbly and energetic when I'm in the office, but I honestly, my true passion is about helping people identify how they can get healthy and stay well. And once I discovered functional and integrative medicine, I realized that, oh, this is a real thing. Like, there's actually something I can actually do to help people achieve this. And, oh, by the way, sometimes it's costly. And so what I tell people is my passion is still about helping people identify, their health challenges, what's contributing to health challenges, and helping to restore that. But my real purpose is identifying how to get this kind of care in the hands of everybody who needs it, which is everybody who's walking this earth.
Isn't that amazing? It's funny, for this one-day retreat coming up, I wanted a health equity nonprofit, and I found a nonprofit, which is something I'm passionate about, but I think what you're talking about is health equity, right?
I'm talking
And
about
disparity.
health equity, disparity. I'm talking about corporate wellness. There are a lot of entities out there that do kind of shared funding to provide health care.
Yes.
So we're looking at something like that model, but specifically targeting not just routine conventional medical care, but functional and integrative medicine.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
we need that.
We need that. Everybody needs that.
Right? There needs to be more solutions like that, because when I go to my naturopath or see you, if I don't have care credit, this is not a plug for them, but if I don't have that,
Right.
a lot of the services aren't covered, and these
Or
are
if
the
you
most
don't have
important.
the credit to be able to have
get a
access to care
right,
credit,
right. No.
then you need that cash.
Yeah.
And so the point is that our population is getting sicker and sicker. And the reason is because they aren't being educated about how to stay well.
Yeah.
When I moved to Dallas from New York 36 years ago, I joined a company called Cigna.
Oh yeah.
HMO.
Yeah.
And what excited me about going to work for them was when I did my interview, they showed me all these tools that they used to do preventive medicine, to do early diagnostics, to identify problems, and then focus on, because it was an HMO, focus on keeping people well, because that's how you make money, is keep people well instead of paying for sick care. And literally, by the time I moved here 6 months later, and I'm walking around the office going, where's that machine that people are like, that thing's in the closet, nobody uses it.
Oh no.
And I was like, oh my God.
That was so good.
That was
right.
Like, that's why I'm doing medicine. That's why I applied to medical school after, getting a nutrition degree and realizing that sitting behind a desk,
No, thanks.
was not
for you.
Me. No.
So what kinds of tell us a couple of types of technology that you do use that makes integrative functional medicine so appealing and so effective.
Absolutely. So we do a lot of very extensive diagnostic testing, which is kind of, in my training was a big focus. And I'm glad it was in my training, but what I realized in real life is if you teach people how to change their lifestyle first, then you can probably avoid some of that testing. Now you need some basic testing, so we do a very extensive what we call functional health panel that uses artificial intelligence to kind of analyze it and pull together how to set some priorities. Because if it's somebody who's really sick, there's going to be red lines everywhere, and so you want to be able to prioritize where you want to look for that root cause first. And so that's one of the things that we do really with all our functional medicine patients. And then we take that information, and so detoxification is a really important thing for me because it made such a big difference in my life, and I've seen so many lives transformed in my patients. So I encourage people to consider doing that as a way to kind of get started, kind of baby steps.
The baseline.
Yeah, and that's assuming they're not already too toxic to even do a detox, because some people are. And then we talk about all the things that are going on in their life. And so if I feel like circulation is an issue, then we talk about things like PEMF, pulsed electromagnetic frequency generated energy, which we have in our office that we can have them come and do there, or they can purchase devices to use at home, and that's certainly something that we think, honestly, every person should probably have in their home. We also use something called red light therapy. So red light, near infrared light, lots and lots of PubMed data.
So it really works.
Absolutely.
It's not a scam.
It is not a scam. And now, are people selling some scams? I can't speak to that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of it being promoted online, but there's, decades of data on the benefit of red and near infrared light. Now, it has therapeutic benefits, but in our office, we offer it for therapeutic benefits, but we use it more for body contouring and skin tightening and cellulite and things like that, because we do a lot of weight loss.
Oh, yeah.
And so along with the weight loss comes, the crepey skin and the loose skin and all of that. But it has definitely therapeutic benefits, especially the bed that we have now. It's way more powerful than the pads we used to have. And so people are seeing improvement in, anything from gut to inflammation in their joints and pain and
Wow.
all sorts of things. So, and then we also do full body lymph massage. And that's something that I only recently got introduced to. I had a lot of patients I took care of with breast cancer who had lymph therapy after having, their breast surgeries. But I never kind of looked at it as a tool that I would need to use, or
Sure.
Average person would need to use. And then I got a rude awakening when I got introduced to this tool, because it actually is full body. So just like for some people, microcirculation is a problem, the PEMF addresses that. For some people, it's a lymph flow problem. So that even though they're eating cleaner, all the toxins that their body has been there for a long time hasn't been dumped yet, or all the waste that our body produces daily, just living,
Just hanging out in there?
just hanging out in there instead of being eliminated regularly like it should be.
Wow.
So those are some of the tools that we promote fairly actively in conjunction with the programs that we and patients that we're working with on addressing specific problems.
Cool. So it's a health tech, full body, kind of a lymph outfit.
It's a suit.
Oh, it's a suit.
It's a suit
so
that we
okay.
wrap people in. Legs, arms, feet, abdomen, all the way
Like
up
a little
to the
space
chest.
suit.
It's like a space suit.
Okay. All right.
But it is progressive. So it starts at the feet and pushes that upward, which is the way
we're
it's
supposed to
flow.
do it.
Exactly.
Oh.
Exactly.
And that is like more effective than a lymphatic massage?
It's
Or similar.
different.
Is it?
So yeah, a lymphatic massage is deep tissue massage is what you're talking about. And so yes, they actually can hit trigger points because they can feel what's going on.
Yeah.
This is just kind of a general full body, but yes, it's 40 minutes, and so it's very therapeutic.
Sure.
And it's got good evidence as well to benefit many things. Absolutely.
Maybe we'll do the next filming with my bodysuit on.
Exactly.
Okay? I think that's a good idea. Tell me about, I'm really interested because I heard you speak one time, which is why you're here today, on women's sexual health. And there were things that I didn't know. I guess I just kind of not ignored, but I was intrigued by your talk and wanted to learn a little bit. There are a couple of us in the room that might be postmenopausal. So things change a little bit.
Yes, it does.
So what do you want them to know as postmenopausal women?
Yeah, and so this is actually something that I didn't even learn as a resident in training about kind of the changes that occur in a woman's body. It's kind of like, oh yeah, do you want hormones? We'll give you hormones. They'll take care of the hot flashes. But there's so much happening down in that area. So vaginal dryness, itching, increased laxity, so very loose vagina, so that sometimes women and their partner, neither one of them are enjoying it anymore because it's so lax. Urinary urgency and frequency because of the loss of estrogen support to those tissues. And so what I'm about is educating women about really taking back control of their body.
Yeah.
Like, this is your body, and you should ask your provider questions about anything that you're experiencing down there that is disruptive to your relationship, to your life, or just feels weird to you. Because there are actually good solutions that are available now that are non-surgical options.
Oh, good.
Non-surgical options. So, as a resident, if you had a little, bit of laxity, would say, oh, well, we could do a, rectocele repair, tighten up the vagina. But this is actually minimally invasive, and there's no cutting. It's actually a laser that causes what's called a perceived injury in the tissues in the area that have become lax. So we lose collagen as we age. That's why we get wrinkles
everywhere.
all over everywhere. including the vagina, exactly.
Oh.
And so what it does is it stimulates collagen production in that area. And the studies have shown that this device, they actually looked at not just vaginal rejuvenation, which has kind of become a cliche, you know. They also looked at urinary incontinence, particularly stress urinary incontinence. And over 90% of women had significant improvement or resolution in their urinary incontinence. So that's what really attracted me to it. Was the idea of being able to offer women a non-surgical approach. As a woman who had surgery for that problem herself and had complications from it, I felt this was speaking to me.
You're a big advocate for the non-surgical or minimally invasive.
When possible. Absolutely start with, you know, the minimally invasive or non-surgical approaches. But I had gone through all of that, and it still was a problem. So you're
really just a product of your life. You're passionate about what you're doing,
exactly,
because of what's occurred throughout your life,
throughout my own
and
life.
especially since menopause.
Because that's what kicked things off for me, to recognize that, oh, you need to do something different.
Yeah. Because it's funny, I say
it's
something.
kind of the before menopause and after menopause.
Yeah.
You know, for most women, it's kind of this transition. For me, it was kind of like, But that was because it was surgical, which is certainly something I don't recommend anymore. If at all possible.
Yeah.
But at the time, it seemed like the right decision for me. But in retrospect, it probably wasn't.
Sure. Wow, your wisdom.
Yeah.
So you're going to come to the one-day retreat.
Absolutely.
We're blessed to have you there.
So pumped up and excited about that. I think it's going to be an awesome experience for not just the attendees, but for us.
For all of us too. Yeah, me too. I love getting all these incredible healing doctors together, whether it's mental fitness or physical fitness or functional fitness. I love getting the powwow so that everybody can glean a little bit of what it is they need.
The power
what
of sharing
through.
information with people who are like-minded is so amazing.
Yeah. Yes. There's a collective consciousness, and there's
Yeah.
we just get more.
Yes.
We get more, right?
Yes.
I just came from a mastermind here in this group where I'm at, and all of this has been a tremendous conversation. But what do you hope to impart to the people that are coming to the one-day retreat? What do you hope they get out of it?
So what I hope people take away is honestly the idea that health is a choice.
Yeah.
It's not a privilege, it's a choice.
Yeah.
Because we're born with health.
Yeah.
Okay? And our health deteriorates as a result of some things that we can't control, for sure. But even those things we can't control, we can recover from. And so it's about getting informed. It's about knowing where to get reliable information. Usually not Google.
Really?
But there are very reliable sources. Oh yeah, the Institute for Functional Medicine and Chris Kresser, who is my mentor, who I did my functional medicine training with. I mean, he is an awesome evidence-based practitioner. You know, Jeff Bland, who actually is the godfather of functional medicine.
Is he?
Absolutely,
Okay.
Absolutely.
I don't know Jeff.
Mark Hyman, and he's a nutrition background.
Yes, Mark Hyman's a very famous guy, isn't he?
Yes, he is. Yes,
he became pretty famous, last 10 years?
I don't know. That's when I became aware of him, but
I thought you were going to say that's when I became famous.
Yeah, no, that's when I became aware of him, but I don't know. I feel like maybe he was around me even before that.
Yeah.
But yes, he's written a number of books over the last 10 years for sure that have done very well. And he's been a big proponent of what I'm trying to do, which is getting this care accessible. He's actually over at the Cleveland Clinic Integrative and Functional Medicine division there, and so it's becoming a little bit more mainstream. It's not just us woo-woo people out here.
Yeah, that's right. It's funny, when I started my integrative retreat business 4.5 years ago, I had some tremendous friends, right? And one, because the team that I started with she was a neurologist in China, Sun Yen, but she is an acupuncturist here in California anyways.
Awesome.
And so I had an acupuncturist and brain spotting mental health professional. And the three of us started the company, right?
Awesome.
And I had one of my very brilliant C-suite women say, Linda, that acupuncture may go okay in California. This is 4.5 years ago. She said, but I don't think it's going to resonate with people throughout the U.S., which is interesting. She goes, I don't know if they're ready for it yet. And she's a really brilliant woman. But now I look at that and I say, oh my gosh, because I'm so used to it, right? I had acupuncture for years and natural medicine for quite some time.
Right.
And so I was like, oh my gosh.
Well, and chiropractic also I include in that because, you know, most people think they don't need to see a chiropractor unless they've had some specific accident or problem. But honestly, there's probably a place for chiropractic.
I agree.
As part of routine wellness. And so I think, you know, it's been a blessing for me to have met so many really influential and smart practitioners and, you know, even non-practitioners, you know, massage therapists that have kind of poured into me to keep me constantly wanting to learn more and constantly wanting to stay on the cutting edge. Of course, I've kind of been like that most of my career, even when I was practicing conventional medicine routinely. But, you know, I wanted to come back to the conference and kind of what people can take away, because you asked me that and I kind of got off track. But I think what people should take away is the fact that, yes, you know, they're in control of their health, but also that even when they've been told this is something you have to live with the rest of your life, that is only their truth if they speak it.
Amen. I agree with that. Don't believe the lie. And your body, here's what I say.
Body has an amazing ability to heal.
Does what you tell it.
Yes, it has an amazing ability to heal. We have so much in this that is unrealized because we don't know how to tap into it. And it's, you know, all of these various practitioners and modalities that kind of help us to figure out, you know, how to really tap into our body. And let's not forget genetics, because that's the last piece. So I've been on this, you know, for the last year, like looking at all these different genetic testing modalities, because I realized that, okay, we got the microcirculation, we got the toxicity, we got the lymphatics. What's left? Well, obviously you don't need the same supplements that this person sitting over here does.
That's right.
And why is that? Because of your genetics.
That's right.
And so if we don't look at that, then we can't really optimize your health completely, because that's a piece that was kind of my last epiphany. And I'm like, okay, I'm done now.
That's a great epiphany. You know what? Somebody gave me that epiphany on a silver platter 2 years ago. We were talking about investments. And he said that specialization, there's a word for it, that specialization, is it genomes or whatever? But that genomics and individualized medicine.
Absolutely.
You invest in that and you'll be golden. So I'm like, okay, I took that, you know, and started really digging in a bit more. Is that where you're headed more?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So the wellness program that I'm actually building is around everybody having a genetic test done at the beginning, but not just 23andMe. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about looking at your entire genome and targeting where there might be some challenges for your body to process things the way my body does, and identifying that. And oh, by the way, the company will identify those and give you a solution.
Wow.
Included in their report.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Dig it.
That exists, and it's so powerful.
Wow. Well, on that note, you guys come on to the retreat.
Right.
And so meanwhile, because we've got 5 weeks out for the retreat.
Yes.
So tell them how they can get a hold of you.
So meanwhile, we actually have an open house this Saturday.
Oh.
So from 9:30 to 12:30, you can actually just drop in, or you can call 469-361-4000. We aren't open on Fridays, so if you're interested in speaking to someone, call today. But we're going to be there, 9:30 to 12:30. This will be the first open house that I won't physically be there. I'll be there in spirit because I actually have a master class that I'm giving that morning. And I also have a conference that I'm at that day. So I have a busy day planned, but my staff will take really good care of you and talk about, you get to see all the tools that I described and talk about some of our programs. Our Restore Your Health Metabolic Reset program is our signature program. Restore Your Health with Dr. G is really where I want to start with everybody now, because I know that that's going to address that 80% of lifestyle. If people really commit and do it the way they're supposed to, then that may be all that you need.
They'll need less stuff.
They'll need less stuff.
Less stuff.
Exactly.
Okay, good. And what's the date this Saturday for the open house?
It is, what's today? The 27th of August.
Okay.
And it's 4601 Old Shepherd Place, Building 2, Suite 201 in Plano, Texas. And our website is willowbendhealthandwellness.com.
Great. Willowbend
We look forward to seeing you.
Yeah. Okay, everybody, we're going to get this video out immediately, so that you guys can attend the open house at Willowbend Health and Wellness, and we hope to see you as well.
And we have those monthly, so they can
you
make
do?
this
Oh,
one.
good. Okay.
We have one monthly.
Okay, good. And we'll see you September 28th at Turtle Creek Park and Arlington Hall. She will have good company with some tremendous healers in mental fitness and physical fitness and body fitness and medical fitness. So look forward to having you there. Thank you so much, Dr. G.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. Thank you.